It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege of interviewing the Huntingdon College head softball coach, Coach Casey Chrietzberg. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Can you talk about how you knew that you want to get started in coaching in college softball?
Well, it was just really a little bit of luck and how I got started. I never knew I wanted to do that. The opportunity became available after I had graduated, and I was honored to be asked to be the assistant coach by the head coach that was there. She had an opening, and never once I graduated, I still was always connected to the program. So I just got lucky and was at the right place at the right time, and haven't left it.
What was that experience like for you going to college at Huntingdon and getting to put on that uniform for them?
It was great. I'm a hometown girl, so love being able to play at the college level in my hometown, and really just liked what the school was about, what it was happy to be a part of that. It's a small town college, so you're known there, and that fit me and my personality very, very well.
Coming out of college, what was that experience like for you getting into college coaching and starting?
Well, I had a unique experience and opportunity because I was 1 year removed. So I graduated, was done with the program for 1 year, and then was asked to be the assistant coach. So I actually began my college coaching career coaching teammates of mine. So it was, I guess it was different, but I never really thought it to be weird. I don't think anybody thought it to be weird, but it's definitely a unique story. But I just had a passion for the game, and love being out there on the field. And I think that shined through it all.
Coming into college coaching, what was that experience like for you being the assistant coach at your home?
It was great. It was a great learning experience. Good opportunity to get on the field, do something that I haven't done in a different capacity, being on a different side of the ball to per se, but able to give back, to some players. And I thoroughly enjoy it. And if it wasn't for that, I don't know if I would have gotten into coaching. So that's where my career path definitely changed at that point. So I was able to see that, hey, maybe this is something I want to do for a career.
What was that experience like transitioning from coaching at your alma mater as assistant coach to going to Emerald and coaching there as assistant coach?
Well, it was the complete contrast, which was great and well needed for me. I mean, going to the city of Atlanta from a lot smaller town was different in itself. My first time kind of being a little bit more away from home, and but a great program, a great head coach, a great school. It was just what I needed at the time to just be able to have some contrast and kind of learn a new program and a different way of doing things. So it was a different experience, but it was something I'm extremely grateful for.
During that time, what was that experience like for you going to the Division III regional championship?
Oh, it was amazing. So I had been when I was the assistant at Huntingdon, but going with Emory and going into postseason, we went all the way to the national championship, or to the national tournament, and so went much further than I ever had, and so it was a great experience. I now know what that's like, and has left me with a taste in my mouth just to kind of get there again and get that far.
For you, what was that feeling like getting the call from Huntingdon to come back home to your alma mater to become the next head coach?
Well, a lot of my friends were still there, so I very much so kept in touch with the people at Huntingdon, and obviously the program that I played at and then was coaching at. So it was a very exciting time, and I was thrilled and honored to be able to get that call. and just appreciate it was Coach Mike Turk, our football coach, who gave me that call, and I just sat down and spoke with him, and it was great. It was a great moment.
For you coming back home, what was that feeling like stepping back onto that softball field now as a head coach?
Oh yeah, it was just a piece, feeling like you're at home. Just seeing the opportunity there, excited to build and create something of my own program, with a passion and a deep desire. I tell everybody, no matter how long I am at Huntingdon, I will always have a place. There will always be a place in my heart for that school and that program. So it's been a joy and an honor.
What was that feeling like for you taking over the program from your previous head coach that coached you?
It's been great. It's been great to see just the changes in the program, the changes in the game of softball. I still stay in touch with her today. So it's been fun just to see the differences between when I played and the differences between what we do now. It's just we share good and fond memories for going back and reminiscing of that.
For you, what was that feeling like the first time you got to step onto that field as a head coach?
It was nerve-wracking. I will tell you this. I think we had a team of 14 people, which technically on the lineup you can play 10. So, all the fears that you usually have of what's the starting lineup going to be, I didn't really have those issues because pretty much everybody in the dugout played. So it was just it was a crazy first year, but some really good stories. But it was a lot of fun, a lot of nerves, but a lot of the situation kind of took care of itself. The big stresses that I think I would have normally had kind of took care of themselves.
Being an alma mater coach and coming back home, what was that experience like getting to coach some of those teammates that you played against and with?
It was really a smooth transition for me. I was always just a ball first kind of person. So it really didn't change for me. But it just was, I mean, it was smooth, really. It probably should have been weird and probably should have been a little bit different, but I don't recall it being that way at all. It was just a great experience. I already knew them. They knew me. I got the luxury of them knowing that I meant business as a player as well. So I had that going for me.
What does a typical game day look like for you as a head coach versus for your athletes?
Um, Getting the field ready, getting everything else outside of that. But I would like to think there's more things that are the same for me and them than there are things that are different. I would like to think that when I go to the field at that point for a game, I feel very confident in our preparation, and I would like to feel that they're very confident in their preparation as well. And really, it's just a day to perform. And I feel like that we've gotten to the point now where we're pretty confident, we're prepared, we know what we need to do, and in a lot of good situations. So I would like to think that it's more of the same feelings of that. Yes, I have to get there early. I have to deal with a little other things, but for the most part, I try to keep all the pre-work done.
Can you talk about, of course, the culture that you've built for the softball program as head coach?
Yeah, I think the culture is really, really good. I think we've been able to progress as a program. We've had some really great players come through and do a really good job leading. And we've been able to build upon that as well. So it's just been a good, it's different year to year. We have different team, different personalities, different leaders, but overall, I think the culture is good, and we all know we have a set standard, and we've been able to kind of know that doesn't compromise, even though the team changes, that the standard stays the same.
Who are some of the teams in your conference that you compete against?
So we're the only school in Alabama. We go into Georgia, and we have several teams in the state of Georgia. We have Piedmont, we have Agnes Scott, we have Wesleyan, we have Covenant. And then we move over in LaGrange, and we move over to Tennessee. Right now we have Maryville, and then we have Asbury just coming in. we have Belhaven out of Mississippi. I think that is all. Yeah.
What is that home game atmosphere like when teams like Piedmont comes versus going to Belmont?
I think we have a really good home field crowd, very well supported. A lot of parents that come and support. Good representation from the school as well. So I think we do a really good job of filling out the stands. We have a lot of excitement about the program. So there's nothing like a home game day.
What does the typical recruitment visit look like for you as a head coach, and what do you look at in those prospective student athletes?
Yeah, that for me, usually and typically when I have somebody come on a visit, I've seen them numerous amount of times. Several of them have came to camp. So it's not a first encounter. A lot of the times it's not even their first time of being at the school and on campus. It's just talking a little bit more in depth about what we do day to day, maybe showing them in a few more buildings and classrooms. But I try not to let that be the only time that they've ever came to campus or spoke with me. So usually it's just an entire process, and that's just one step in it.
As a head coach in alma mater, what is it like seeing those freshmen put on that jersey for the first time and representing the softball program?
It's great. It's great to see the transformation of freshmen as well, going from freshman to senior year. It's good to see just their level of excitement, getting to see the freshmen for the first time out on a college softball field. Yesterday we had our first fall practice, so it's great just to see them on first day. But also just getting to see them. This is part of their dreams as well. As many of these, if not all, they had dreams of playing college softball, and so getting to know that they chose Huntingdon, they entrusted me with their college softball career, is just really fun, and it's very, very humbling to sit back and think on that.
What's that like as a head coach, seeing them achieve those first milestones in their career, like first home runs, first assist?
It's awesome. I mean, no matter freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, it's awesome to see anybody hit a goal, hit a new mark that they've been aiming for. That never gets old. I know we accomplished a lot of those as a team. So it's always fun just to see their excitement and have that to be a part of that.
What's that like for you seeing those seniors put on that jersey for the last time representing this?
Ooh, that's a different one. I try to always remember the freshmen and hey, addressing the freshmen. This is your first college game. This is your first college practice. And I got told yesterday by one of our seniors, hey, this is my last first practice. And I think I just kind of out of sight, out of mind the seniors, because they're also big a part of me, and I never want to think about them leaving. So that's one when I don't want to think about that, I just choose that it doesn't really exist. But so that hits a lot harder on the last game. Starting to talk about the last, but yeah, it's just awe-inspiring to know that somebody stuck with it as well, and made it to their senior year. I think athletes, there's less and less of those that make it to their senior year. So it's special.
What have been some of the things that you've been able to accomplish so far as head coach?
Just the growth of the program. It seems like we have gotten a new level at each and every year. Last year we were able to host the NCAA regional. We were the first female team in the history of Huntingdon athletics to host a regional, and not many other times. It was the second time that we've even been to one that I had been a part of the program. So it's just been great to be able to see these teams accomplish these goals and to see what they have worked for so hard. So it's been awesome.
What was that experience like for you getting to host that regional?
It was great. It was rainy, so it was a lot of work. But nobody can take away that we were the first to do it. So we'll always hold that record at Huntingdon as being the first female sport to do that. So through it all, that was something that we got to be in the record books for at Huntingdon. So to me, it was worth it.
What are some of your future plans for the Huntington program moving forward?
To go farther. We hosted a regional. Let's make it to a super. Let's go further. And to continue down this road.
What would you tell your younger self now, looking back on your career being a head coach at your alma mater?
I think my younger self wouldn't believe me of some of the things we've been able to, where I'm at and what we've been able to do. We've had a new softball facility built, and they did an amazing job on that. So a lot of things would have just been, I don't think I would have believed it. But I would probably tell myself to just kind of sit back, enjoy the moment. It's not as serious as you think it is. To connect a little more with the players. I would probably just tell myself to calm down a little bit.
What advice would you give those incoming freshmen entering their first year of college softball?
A lot of the same things. Enjoy the moment, relax, find some friends, enjoy the experience, learn, get better, be confident. All the things that they're probably not feeling. They're shy, they're timid, they're nervous, just to try to combat those feelings.
What advice would you give those juniors transitioning into being seniors and leading the program?
Yeah, I think everybody thinks of being a leader as the vocal person. And we talk a lot about you can lead in many, many different ways. Some people lead with their voice. Some people lead with action. Some people lead by just being a listening ear. Some people lead with, pulling people one side by side and giving them a little bit of advice here and there. But I think we really dwell a lot on don't try to lead like somebody else. Find your own way to lead. Some people lead more in the weight room. Some people lead more on the field. And I think we've done a really good job of not trying to force how you should lead. But everybody needs to lead in a certain way at certain times.
What advice would you give those college softball players that have aspirations of playing professional softball, whether it's Athletes Unlimited or the national team?
Yeah, I would, we don't really have too many of those, but I would tell them to chase their dreams. I've been all for it, but usually we have ours that kind of get out into the work field and establish their careers or whatever their dreams are. But I've always been a component of and a biggest fan of all my players. So no matter what they're saying, they want to be doctors, they want to be this or that, I'm going to be the person that's right there telling them, all right, let's go, let's do it. How can I help? And let's go.
What advice would you give those players out there looking to get into coaching and coaching at their alma mater like you
have? To go for it. I try to help them along. We have a few that have been interested in coaching, and I try to pull them aside and have little discussions with them from time to time. But to absolutely go for it, pursue it, and I try to help them along the way if I can.
What advice would you give those future head coaches looking to start and build their own softball?
Buckle up and get ready. Be ready to work hard. Be ready to do it yourself. Do it your way. But it's good to come out on the other side of that and be able to look back and be proud of what you've done. But it's highly rewarding.
That's great advice. Where can my listeners find you on social media along with the program?
I'm sorry?
Where can my listeners find you on social media along with the program?
I'm not very good on the social media, but we have a Twitter, we have the Instagram. I'm sure there's a way to get connected. I think we're at HC Hawks Softball. That's our Instagram and social media information.
Thank you again, Coach Casey Chrietzberg, for your interview, and best of luck in your future as the head softball coach at Huntingdon College.
Thank you so much.
You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon. And you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Coach Casey, for your interview, and best of luck in your future.
Thank you.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.